Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday, and today we're talking about the new clan season, and I'm not going to talk about the ranked season fiasco of them releasing it at the exact same time as clan season. I'm not going to do that at all. Why Wargaming? But anyways, we're here to talk about the official clan season, where we're actually getting to play in tier 8s and not tier 10s. Thank you. Finally, thank you. Like I understand tier 10 there's a little bit more balanced because everyone has a heal besides destroyers, well, some destroyers, but it's so stagnant and the meta is so very cut and dry, and you do tier 10 a lot and it gets really tiring. And yes, I know I'm in a French cruiser, surprise. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, our lineup, we have a Lennon, Baltimore, Cleveland, Charles Martel, Otago, Lightning, and we've been changing, ships almost every single battle. Really depends on the members, what ships they have, what ships they're good at, what ships are, a decent skilled captain, etc. So obviously I'm taking the Charles Martel because, yeah, I'm a French cruiser player. I like my French cruisers. They're good ships. But anyway, another main difference from the previous season is you're only running 6 players and not 7. So that's actually kind of a big difference. It's very similar to rank, I believe. Rank in a lot of reasons. Don't actually know why they limited down to 6. It's alright. Your strategies do change a bit more. You can't do a heavier push on one side while still having a decent amount of forces on the other side. So, I mean, it's not the worst experience in the world, and I'm not really complaining about the fact that it's down to 6. It actually makes getting clan battles up and going a lot easier. Can also allow more people to play, especially in smaller clans such as B2P. We're a slightly smaller clan, so we don't always have 14 members at a time able to play both Alpha and Bravo, but now with 6 obviously increases the chances of that actually occurring. So yeah, things are definitely quite a bit different. I am liking it. Strategy is once again very situational. It just really depends on the players. There are ships that are going to be better suited. They have much higher survivability, such as the Yoigan and the Otago, and that's pretty much coming down to the fact that they have a heal, which obviously is very beneficial for tier 8 because, well, if you get down to 5,000 points of health, there's very little you can actually do, because you can't be as brazen as you once were. You're not able to pull back and heal up, so there's only so much you can really do at the moment. Now the enemy team is about to experience a ram. Our Cleveland and their Baltimore are about to make friends real super quick. There we go. So they've lost control of A and B. Our battleship is able to push in. Battleships actually is a really interesting take. We've tried mixture of battleships. We tried the London, we tried the North Carolina, Tirpitz. I've seen Tirpitz and Bismarcks. Don't think I've seen that many Richelieu, which I actually wouldn't mind trying the Richelieu because I actually really do like the Richelieu. But there's probably one ship I would like to try, but it's very different style, and that's the Amagi. Because she can't really sit bow in, she has to be showing a little bit more broadside just to get all the guns off, or at least the vast majority of her guns. So there's only so much you can do with the Amagi, but she's really good. I really do like my Amagi, and I don't know why that Lo Yang sat there for such a long time. Took a big hit from me. Lo Yang is still alive. That Lo Yang is going to be an issue, and also don't know why this Yoigen's firing AP. Probably because he's been trying to fire at our friendly Baltimore that is holding down C. But yeah, we're able to push into A and B, take full kind of control of it. Our friendly Otago, Chen, out west is attempting to do the same with that, with the Otago out there. They're gonna try to make friends, to say the very least. So the beginning of this battle it's a little bit slow. It's really kind of jockeying for a position, trying to get better yet, do more damage rather than receive more damage. Probably could have fired at the North Carolina, but this Prince Eugen's kind of an annoyance. We probably need to get rid of him as soon as possible. But once again, we have control of A and B. Now the Linen, it's the only major benefit is it is able to resist a little bit more with HE damage, but it is a very well, it has its major weaknesses, to say the very least. It has that very, very sensitive broadside. And so the Linen is doing his very best to get around the island before the North Carolina can intercept him. So this is the time where we actually kind of need to push. Once again, Clan Wars is always about timing, when to push and when not to push. And I think right now is a good time to push. North Carolina is out of position to really cause any major danger to my ship, which is going to allow me to push against this Prince Eugen. Prince Eugen, I mean, I like the Admiral Hooper. It does have a heal. It does have fairly good penetration, but its reload is kind of slow, and it only has one more turret than I do. So yeah, not the greatest. Now this captain on this Charles Martel is actually my old Henry captain. So it's a full 19-point captain, has IFHE, so it does have the ability to actually penetrate even through thicker armor. You really feel the difference between the Henry and the Charles Martel. It's noticeable when you switch between those two ships. But overall, still pretty good. If you can just harass that Eugen, push him away from here, prevent him from really constantly being a pain, Darth is going to get his revenge. Now, unfortunately, with the fact that the Linen has pushed into C, A and B is wide open, Lo Yang obviously took the opportunity because we no longer have a real ship to counteract. And unfortunately for our Lightning, he's facing off against a Lo Yang, and Lo Yang, if anyone remembers playing against them in Ranked, is kind of annoying. They're quite powerful. They have a very long range Hydro. And unfortunately for our Lightning, it is taken out by the North Carolina. So we are down a ship. Enemy team now has control of both A and B. We're gonna be able to get C, but we have lost superiority with the caps. Now, Chen is doing his best to continue harassing the Otago. The enemy Otago is doing a very good job, essentially taking up the time of Chen. And there we go. Prince Eugen is finally dead. Now we are even on ships. Unfortunately, the enemy team still has their destroyer, while we do not. Now, Darth is fairly healthy. The Linen is pretty much full health. Could easily be hyper aggressive. Just still have to be careful about that. The North Carolina. North Carolina, still a fairly good ship. Used to be the main brawler way back when. But Linen and the Russian battleships, for that matter, are definitely by far one of the better brawlers, because up close and personal, they have really good dispersion, but they don't always have the armor to really protect them. Darth does open up against the enemy Otago, trying to get rid of him. If we can get rid of him, that opens up the ability for Chen to assist against these targets. And there's that North Carolina. North Carolina was waiting for Darth, gets a hit. And can Darth actually get rid of this North Carolina? I don't think so. I think he's going to go for the Ram. So that is going to even us up on ships again. It still makes things a little bit dicey. They still have a slight vision advantage over us. They still have their destroyer. We still have a radar. They still have a radar. The only downside is the Charles Martel, at least, is a 10.7 detect. And against an Otago, which has around 9.2, 9.3 kilometers, it's not very good. Not very good at all. And that's when the Baltimore wisely decides to push towards Chen. And Chen is actually taking the Takao. Finally realized. And that's the only other issue I have with the ARP ships, is the fact that they don't get the camo benefit, camo detect benefit from just normal camo, so it's not as sneaky as a official Otago. And as you can see, they're wisely deciding taking a unfair fight, 2-on-2, but this Baltimore has been at least able to start getting focused on. Fortunately, once again, good thing about the Charles Martel is the fact that it's fairly quick. Not as quick as the Henry IV, but still fairly quick with the engine boost. Now, unfortunately for Chen, he is going to get focused down by both the Baltimore and the Otago. Low Yang is going to be an issue. It has the maneuverability. And unfortunately, we have just lost our Otago. And we are currently down a ship. Now, the Liu Yang is pretty much playing cat and mouse right now, which is interesting for him. He's probably not liking it very, very much. Now, the moment he doesn't know where I'm at, I could either be heading south or north. He is playing it smartly. He is trying to be in a position where he go either south or north. It does look like he starts going south, but he kind of jukes me. Does get hydro, so he instantly realizes that's not the right path to go. Gets turned, trying to get back up north. Now, Term does have to be a little bit careful right now because that other enemy Baltimore is pushing up into A. So he can't really show that much broadside against the enemy Baltimore, because obviously AP against that side is going to be quite dangerous. Does focus down the Lo Yang. I am switching over to AP, trying to get rid of that Baltimore if he pushes around. Finally, we got rid of the Lo Yang. But Term is unfortunately quite broadside, took quite a bit of beating there. Once again, trying to get into position where I can actually assist. Now, we are down in points. We're about 33 points below. Fairly close game right now. And look at this, Baltimore being smart. Unfortunately, is not going to show me in broadside. I'm not able to get those citadels. Now, I do have to be careful of the Otago down south. Can't really sell in the path I'm going. Do have to be a little bit careful. But unfortunately, we have just lost Term in the Baltimore. All that's left is me. But I should be able to get rid of the Baltimore. I have the health benefit. And being nimble and agile is by far the best option, because look at that Otago shooting AP at my broadside. Yeah, one nice thing about the Charles is it's very, very quick speed. Unfortunately, I'm getting a little bit unlucky with my damages. But once again, Baltimore's not really able to do much. Just gonna use my torps, and my torps kind of fell. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Finally got rid of that Baltimore. Am slowing up. Speed boost is down, so I am very much a lot slower. Now things are very, very close right now. We do have C, so right at this moment we are gaining points at a very steady rate. I am going to at least capture A, which is going to start gathering us up more points. So right now it's very, very tense. But here's the issue with these tier 8s. The Otago has a heal. And the Atago probably has healed up maybe a decent amount, maybe used the majority of his heals. Might still have one left. Who knows? Don't know the exact specifics. But I do pop my plane, trying to at least spot the Atago. Do see his plane, do realize he's actually kind of pushing in. Yep, there he is, 6 kilometers. I could, you know, be a little aggressive, but there's almost no real major reason why I should. If I can postpone him from really attempting to take me out. Because once again, he has fairly good HE damage. And once again, he has a heal. Now, you could say it's a little safe, but it's not a bad idea. Because we do have 2 caps, we are gaining the points advantage. There's no reason for me to really be that aggressive. So, pushing forward around the island, being hydroed, our hydro is currently up in about 20 seconds, and things are a little bit tense. Now, we do see that the Atago is in the A cap, is preventing us from gathering points, but once again, we're ahead in points, and we still have the C cap. So, the Atago has 2 options. It can attempt to try to push me out, or it could attempt to go to C. Now, the Charles Martel does have torpedoes. They aren't very hard hitting, but with the amount of health the Atago has, more than likely, well, it probably doesn't really want to do that. Do you see the opportunity to at least drop some torpedoes? But we do have speed boost, so we're able to kind of mitigate the amount of damage. It drops torpedoes, and it decides to go towards C. Now, as soon as it steps up, we're going to start gathering up even more points. And this is the major crucial point right here. Now, had the Atago pushed me off, it would have taken control of both A and B. Possibly, more than likely, would have pushed them ahead in points. But once again, it would have been a very dangerous venture. The Charles Martel has decent torpedo angles that is able to drop them at a fairly decent angle without showing too much broadside, while the Atago only has the ability of firing the front ones to a certain degree. So right now I'm being patient. I know this is very exciting gameplay, but this is actually not a bad strategy. And that's my whole point of this video. It's not a bad strategy. Right now what I'm doing is waiting for him to pop into C. So, as soon as I see him in C, I'm actually going to start reversing and go into B. Now, once again, we're ahead in points. We're going to be able to at least gather some points. Now, the Atago, I believe, went south, or at the very least is outside of my 10.7 kilometer range, but I'm pretty certain he went south. Because I'm not being detected, and oh, look, there's torpedoes. Yep. Oh, look at those torpedo beats. But able to dodge those torpedoes. And the team does manage to capture C, but we win in about 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Like, look at the timer on the score. It's so very close, and that right there is game-changing. This is just going to prevent them from creeping ahead of us. There's actually about a minute left in the map. With the fact that they would have had 2 caps, would have meant that they would have gained possibly more points than us. So actually preventing them from gaining those additional points is going to be really beneficial because they're not able to get ahead of us. So with less than 39 seconds, I wisely start to go forward, trying to get it back into the position that I once was. 30 seconds left on the map. He's not going to be able to really do much against me. His guns have to completely do a 360, and his HE is not going to be enough to really sink me. So that is going to be it for this video. Very, very satisfied with Clan Wars. Very excited for the rest of the season. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.